Hello, this is Maggie, and I'm going to try to explain a way to think about coincident partials and inharmonicity. And this is going to be a little weird, but let me try anyway. So first, I want to do a quick review. So these are my partial strips, and if you set them on a keyboard, they show you where the partials are from any given note. Okay, so this one's coming up from C3. If I look at an octave and put this one on C4, it gives me the partials, above C4. And it shows me where the coincident partials are, where they line up. So the first coincident partial, 1, 2 to 1, is a 2 to 1 octave. The second coincident partial is a 4 to 2, 4 to 2. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 4, 8 to 4, 10 to 5. So that gives you a visual of where the coincident partials fall. However, I have another strip that is my inharmonicity strip. And if you notice, they don't line up anymore. And if I tune an octave pure at the first coincident partial, this is all review, I'm narrow at the ones above it. If I tune it pure at the second coincident partial, I'm now wide at the first, but narrow at the ones above that. This is a fast review. If I tune an octave pure at the third coincident partial, how to do that is another video. Then I'm really wide at the first, wide at the second, but I'm still narrow at the fourth, and that idea just continues. So I wanted to give this quick review of what these are before I try to explain a way to think about it. That's coming next. So here we are on my floor without the keyboard, but I still have my partial strips. And we're going to pretend this is a unison, right? So in a unison, the harmonics ideally would go up at the same rate. So there's inharmonicity, but they're both traveling. The harmonics are arising out of the string at the same inharmonic rate, at the same sharpness. And this is going to be very silly, but bear with me just for a minute. We're going to pretend that one unison string is going to have Rocky Raccoon, and the other unison string is going to have Molly Mouse, okay? And they're going to race, okay? So with each partial that they hit going up, passing the partials as they race, they're going to gain 5 miles an hour. Okay, this is of course absurd, but just bear with me. So they're driving, they're going up at the same rate, they get to this one, they hit 5 miles an hour, they pass it, they get to the next one, they hit 10 miles an hour, 15, 20, 25, 30, boom, and they're tied. Okay, so they try to race, but they're tied. Now, let's take our little race cars and change this up a little bit. Let's give us an octave, but now we have an inharmonicity difference because the lower note has a head start. Somebody asked me what I meant by that, by the lower note has a head start. And this is actually not how I think about it, but it's the only way I could think to put it into words. So this isn't real, this is absurd. Hang with me, okay? So Molly Mouse is going to be our lower string of our octave. Let's say she's C3. It doesn't really matter. Okay, let me move that up just a little. And then Rocky Raccoon is going to be C4. He's going to be up here. And let's say we have tuned a 2 to 1 octave. All right. Now, if you think about Molly Mouse and Rocky Raccoon, think of them as being in a race. Okay, Rocky Raccoon is representing C4, Molly Mouse is representing C3. Rocky's not going to start his race until Molly reaches him. They're going to start together at a 2 to 1 octave. We have an octave tuned pure 2 to 1, okay? And the same thing applies. Every time they hit a partial, they go up 5 miles an hour. So Molly Mouse starts, and by the time she gets to the second partial, she is now going 5 miles an hour. But Rocky Raccoon is just starting. He doesn't get to 5 miles an hour until his second partial. So Rocky starts while Molly's going 5 miles an hour. Okay, then they get to Molly's next coincident partial, next partial, but third partial, but it's not a partial for Rocky. So Molly has just gained another 5 miles an hour, but Rocky hasn't yet. So Molly is now going 10 miles an hour. So when they get to Rocky's second partial, Rocky's now going 5 miles an hour, but Molly's going 15. Okay, so Molly's ahead now. So they're going to keep going. Molly is now going 20 miles an hour at the fifth partial. And when they get to Molly's sixth partial and Rocky's third partial, Rocky is now going 10 miles per hour. And I forgot what Molly's going, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 miles per hour. So she's really pulling ahead here. And if they keep going, now Molly's going 30, now Molly's going 35 miles an hour, and Rocky's only going 15. Molly's really pulling ahead here. And that just continues. So Molly had the head start, okay? And so that's what I kind of mean when I say a lower note of an interval has a head start. I know this is silly, but if it helps anyone think about this and how the lower note partials are going to be sharper, then it's worth the comparison. Now let's say I tune an octave pure at the second coincident partial. Okay, Rocky now has a little bit of a head start. Look at that. He's ahead. So the same thing happens, but Rocky's ahead. So they start, but he gets a head start here, but she still had a head start down there. So Rocky's still at 0 miles per hour when Molly is at 5. And they get here, Molly's caught up to him, they're even, and then after that, she speeds up past him again. So the same thing is going to happen now with a 6/3 octave. Rocky has a bigger head start, but Molly's still moving 5 miles an hour right here. And so Rocky had a head start. Molly's catching up. Molly's catching up right there. Molly has caught up to him at the third coincident partial, and Molly pulls ahead because by the time Molly is at the eighth coincident partial, she's going 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 35 miles an hour, and Rocky is only going 15. So Molly pulls ahead. So no matter what happens, Molly's going to pull ahead. It's just a matter of where they turn out even. How much of a head start Rocky has down here, as far as, you know, this little bit here, the 2-to-1 is wide. So Rocky's on the sharp side. But Molly has the head start with speed. She's booking. So anyway, that is a very absurd and silly way to explain what I mean when I say the lower note has a head start. I know it's not real. It's actually not how I think about it, but I don't know how else to put it into words. So thank you, Molly Mouse, and thank you, Rocky Raccoon, and thank you, everyone. If something in here doesn't quite make sense, I'm going to put some more information in the description. And if you like my videos, please subscribe. Thank you all very much. Happy tuning. Bye.